Chelsea stunned PSG 3-0 in the Club World Cup final with just 33% possession. Proof they're no longer Maresca's underdogs, but the reborn kings of Stamford Bridge. With Cole Palmer lighting up the pitch, Reece James leading the charge, and Champions League qualification secured, could 2026 finally bring the Premier League crown back to Chelsea? Stick around, because we're revealing Maresca's secret weapon that could make them unstoppable. Okay, football fans, let's be honest. How many of you expected Chelsea, against all odds and predictions, would pull off a stunning 3-0 victory over Paris Saint-Germain in the finals? Every minute was pure drama, entertainment, and suffocation of the most informed football team of the season. Well, the most informed club before the 14th of July. PSG came into the final, and 81,000 fans packed the stadium, buzzing with anticipation. They came in as the Champions League winners, heavily favoured and looking unstoppable after smashing Real Madrid in the semis. Chelsea, sure, they're a Premier League heavyweight, but most pundits wrote them off before the ball was even kicked.
I see PSG being, at this point, a far superior version of what Chelsea wants to become.
5-1 PSG.
3-1 to PSG.
Well, Chelsea being Chelsea had other plans. Luis Enrique's fluid structure was beaten and broken by the midfield of Enzo, James and Caicedo. The invincible-looking partnership of Vitinha and João Neves was neutralised, and despite having 67% possession on stats, the whole PSG team could only manage 8 shots in 90 minutes. Cole Palmer, on the other hand, was the name on everyone's lips. The young English forward stole the show by netting 2 goals in the first half that left PSG defenders in disbelief. Then, with a slick assist, he set up João Pedro for the 3rd goal and put the match far out of reach for the Parisians before half-time. Palmer wasn't satisfied with the man of the match only. His thirst was only quenched after taking the best player of the tournament as well. PSG, usually so clinical, just couldn't find their rhythm. In fact, things went from bad to worse later on, when João Neves picked up a straight red card for a moment of madness, pulling Marc Cucuredia's hair right in front of the ref, and VAR, of course. This match was proof that Chelsea's appearance in the final and their whole campaign were not a fluke at all. The ideas of Enzo Maresca are clicking, and once belief kicks in for a young squad, that's dangerous. Cole Palmer said it best post-match, "We believe in ourselves and the way we are playing. There's still more to come." Still, let's not crown anyone champions just yet. They still have to pass the real test of consistency. Can this squad carry the same energy through a 38-game grid? Let's dig into a big and crucial asset to Chelsea's attacking side, João Pedro. This lad is changing the way Chelsea attack. When João Pedro arrived from Brighton, most Chelsea fans expected a promising forward who might chip in with the occasional goal, as all Brazilians are blessed with flair. However, few could have predicted the rapid impact he'd make throughout the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup, culminating in a standout final performance. He cemented his role immediately into the squad as more than just a scorer, with 3 crucial goals in the semi-final and final of the Club World Cup, including a spectacular chip over Donnarumma in the final. He's breathed fresh energy into the squad and electrified supporters everywhere. The numbers are surely amazing, but those who understand football know that his influence extends beyond the scoresheet. He's become the critical link between midfield and attack. He frequently drops deep to pull defenders out of position, opens pockets of space, and shifts the rhythm of the game. Against PSG, his movement created passing lanes for teammates and constant headaches for one of Europe's most disciplined backlines. He also sets the momentum for Chelsea's transitions with intense pressing. The arrival of Pedro has helped elevate the role of Palmer in Chelsea's new identity. Palmer's incisive passing consistently finds Pedro. With this synergy, we've seen in the knockouts of the Club World Cup that they can unlock even the tightest defenses in the final third. This interplay brought a fluidity and unpredictability to Chelsea's attack that has been missing since the days of Costa, Hazard and Willian. What truly sets João Pedro apart is his adaptability and constant desire to improve. Coaches and teammates praise his discipline in training and willingness to learn. These were the qualities that earned him a spot in the starting 11 for such a high-profile tournament in a really short span. On top of that, when this hunger was met with performances, he immediately became a fan favourite. The way he embodies Maresca's high energy and high pressure tactics gives Cole Palmer the liberty for creative freedom. So, Pedro's given a new energy to boost the lifeline of Chelsea, which has been helping them in the darkest times. This season, Cole Palmer, the young wizard of Blues, has morphed from a highly rated talent into Chelsea's indispensable game changer. His Club World Cup final display, with 2 clutch goals, an assist, and total command of the narrative, demonstrated that he's not just a prospect for tomorrow, but the defining star of today. Yet, Palmer doesn't operate in a vacuum. Reece James, now back to full fitness, perfectly complements Palmer's rise. Under Maresca's system, James thrives in an inverted fullback role, who slides into midfield in possession. This gives Chelsea passing angles, helps retain possession, and often frees Palmer in advanced positions. In the final, James's passing consistency and defensive power were vital. He recycled the play, shielded the back line like a true leader, and played exquisite diagonals to set Palmer loose. This intuitive partnership is a tactical nightmare for any opponent, whether through clever 1-2 passes, explosive overlaps, or those delayed underlapping runs. The combination of Cole's creativity and James's intelligence stretches defenses to the limit. Watch a replay of the Club World Cup final, and you'll see PSG's entire left side was always second-guessing. Do they have to track Palmer's drift inside or James's drive forward? A slight lapse of concentration and Chelsea were in. The duo has now nurtured a psychological fear beyond statistics. Their on-field confidence almost dares defenders into mistakes, while teammates feed off their boldness and drive. Their relentless effort to link up play, it set up the emotional tone throughout the season, and galvanized the team from mid-table in the EPL to finish 4th, and once again compete in the Champions League. As the new season starts, the hopes of Stamford Bridge will remain anchored to this partnership. If stars remain benevolent and injuries don't haunt them anymore, this duo would be central to any silverware the Blues bring home. How would Maresca set the strategy for it? Let's have a trip to the tactical board of the boss. Enzo Maresca's managerial impact at Chelsea has been transformative. The way he outclassed the ferocious PSG last week was a talking proof of his genius. From the start, the side's precise build-up set the tone. Chelsea invited PSG's passing before rapidly progressing through the thirds with incisive vertical balls. If you're new to football, you should know that this approach is a hallmark of Enzo Maresca. Caicedo acted as a disciplined pivot with the help of his back. He shielded the defense like a wall against the relentless midfield of PSG. Reece James was key to this plan, often moving centrally alongside midfielders, with Levi Colwill stepping out as a wide ball carrier. This positional rotation baffled PSG's defensive structure, providing Chelsea with an unexpected numerical edge and bolstering their shape. Maresca did not make a plan to dominate possession. He choreographed triggers that dictated counter-pressing scenarios. Whenever PSG threatened wide, Chelsea collapsed centrally to encourage turnovers. The result was a clinical counter-attack that made full use of pace and spatial awareness, particularly with Palmer and Pedro darting straight into gaps. However, tactical genius on a big stage is not enough in English football. Maresca will have to face the non-stop grind of weekly domestic matches, low-block defenses, varying tactical puzzles, and compressed schedules. The challenge lies in adapting the European blueprint to every unique test in the Premier League. One area of their continued focus is dead ball situations. With that said, it's time for the football term for this video. A dead ball refers to a situation in a football game when the ball is out of play because of a foul, a corner, a goal kick, or a throw-in. How do teams benefit from a dead ball? Let's watch the 4th goal of Liverpool in their historic comeback against Barcelona in 2019. So, Chelsea is working on them as tight games can hinge on set pieces. Success now depends on constantly evolving. Maresca will have to blend his creative innovation with pragmatism. That's the answer we'll be looking for in the new season. But before that, the bigger question we have is who's selected by the board and the coach to strengthen the squad before the end of the summer transfer window. The Club World Cup triumph has already shed light on our question and Chelsea's recruitment strategy. Instead of headline-grabbing marquee transfers as they did from 2022 to 24, the focus has shifted to players who fit seamlessly into Maresca's tactical vision. Squad building now means finding the pieces that add flexibility, depth, and consistency across a grueling season. With a solid core of Pedro, Palmer, James, and the energy of Enzo Fernandez and Colwill, Chelsea has prioritised depth more than star power. The club's recent signings speak volumes. Competitive and hungry players were brought in for their adaptability and tactical discipline, rather than their big reputations. If you've watched recent games, you'd understand it immediately. Every substitute fits into the system, sustaining performance no matter who is on the pitch. The new recruit, Jamie Bino Gittens from Borussia Dortmund, injects Chelsea's attack with searing pace and flair on the wings, while Esteval Willian from Palmeiras provides technical finesse and an eye for a creative pass in the midfield. Liam Delap from Ipswich Town is another promising prospect who has a killer instinct in front of the goal, and he can press as if he doesn't have any lungs. Finally, Mamadou Sarr, coming from Strasbourg, adds versatility and composure to the defense. The advantage he's bringing to the side is the dual role of both centre-back and full-back with laser focus. The buzz around Chelsea's transfer activity may seem quieter because none of these have cost more than €50 million. The intent of the board is measured and long-term. The objective is to build a squad that outlasts the schedule, meets tactical demands, and avoids the boom and bust effect of big-name splashes. This practicality has paid off already in their recent triumph. As you know, no one knew Pedro's fireworks until he showed them on the pitch. This stability has now raised further hopes among fans and eyebrows among critics. Can they sustain the success in the long term? At the end, it doesn't matter whether Chelsea become champions or collapse mid-season like they've done before. One thing's certain, they've made the world pay attention again. Maresca's system might be genius, or another blueprint that works until it doesn't. For now, Chelsea fans are dreaming, and sometimes, in football, the team that dreams is the most dangerous thing of all.